I'd like to call the March 11th, 2026 meeting of the Ogden Town Board to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd ask you to remain standing for a moment of silent reflection and prayer for military servicemen and women serving around the world, as well as for our first responders. Thank you. Well, welcome everybody to this meeting of the Town Board. I want to start by inviting our Police Chief, Travis Gray, to come give the 2025 annual report for both OPD and the Special Police. Chief?
Good evening. I can't believe it's time once again to do our annual report. It's crazy how fast the time goes by. So, as per usual, I have the actual annual report that has some statistics inside. I just wanted to start with a brief introduction. I sent the board a letter when I submitted this last week, and I like doing that letter because it's a little bit of a recap of the year. Because the statistics are one thing, but there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes. And that was the intention of the letter that I've been doing for a few years now. And if I had to look back and summarize last year, internally in the police department, it was a year of rebuilding, if you will. We began the year very short-staffed. We had some replacements that we hired in the end of December 2024. But those officers were all in field training. There were 3 of them. And we were also down 2 officers that were out on long-term injuries. So realistically, a department of 15 officers, one of which that doesn't work the role by virtue of the contract, we were down 5 people. And that equated to some long shifts. Good evening, included me working the road. I went to the supervisor one day, just pretty frustrated at where we were, and thankfully we were able to push through and get through it. So that's one of the biggest things that I want to underscore from last year is just the resilience of the people that we do have, and how quickly the new officers that we hired in the beginning of last year, late 2024, have been spun up, and they're all doing a phenomenal job. So hats off to them. In February, the building inspector and I, we participated in the polar plunge in 2025. We just did it in 2026. It was much colder this year. But one of the other big changes we had in 2025 was the promotion of Investigator Sherman. And he needed to fill some very big shoes based on Investigator Tiger's promotion to chief down there in Avon. And it's been seamless. The knowledge and the aptitude that Investigator Sherman has it's second to none. And since his promotion, he's been assigned to what I'll call here undercover detail to learn some more experience as far as narcotics investigations go. And also, more so what we do here, search warrants. That's a very specialized skill, and he's getting some good repetitions where he's at right now that will bring that value back to us, not to mention the network that he's built. That's irreplaceable, and here we are. He's been in that detail for quite some time now. He's really doing well. As we do every springtime, when the weather is good, we tend to have proactive details that we put on, whether that be for speeding, click it or ticket. We also revitalized and kind of revamped, thanks to the new town code, our cannabis enforcement efforts. The town board passed that legislation last year, and what that meant is we started doing undercover details, looking to see if businesses in town were in compliance. And some were not, and that's a regular effort that we continue now, just to try and keep a lid on that issue, and I know it's important to everybody. In May, we hired Officer Haynes, and that was to backfill Investigator Sherman's promotion. Justin's also doing great. He came on kind of mid-year, and he's doing phenomenal. We hosted a rabies clinic for the first time in a long time last year. It was a big success. We're going to bring it back. And then I'm very happy with the successful carnival. The year before 2024 was challenging, and there was a lot of collaboration involved with the Firemen's Association. And I think based on that collaborative approach, we came up with a plan, and it worked very well. I'm hopeful that child ID computer and printer we can take out to the community events and make ID cards for parents. Our software for our schedule, believe it or not, the officers were using an Excel spreadsheet that if one person left their computer logged into the program, no one else could access. So after some frustration was voiced, we spent some money on that, something that we never had the budget for. And we'll have that for the next 5 years. So it's just some much needed upgrades. Another budget item was our body worn cameras. We upgraded those last year. The ones that we have were reaching the end of life, they're out of warranty, and they were beginning to fail. And they're kind of important for what we do, for both protecting the officer, protecting the town, and honestly for protecting the community, so for transparency reasons. So very happy with some of the new equipment. One of the biggest ones also too, I don't want to skip over, is the new firearms. Our firearms unit tested and evaluated. We had a supervisor come down and fire some rounds. And they chose a new pistol platform that we anticipate receiving any week now. We had some donations.
Tell them that my grouping was pretty tight.
I wasn't gonna mention the scores per se.
Just the grouping. It doesn't matter if it was center mass, we're together.
Might have been over here.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Off the paper.
Hey, everywhere is a group.
Yeah.
Scare tactics. But very excited, our pistols now are 10 years old and they're due to be replaced. So we'll be putting that plan in place as soon as we get the nod that they're here. Part of that was through budget funds, but also through donation from the Rotary Club. So another big transition that occurred last year was Tracy Mahoney retired. Tracy had been here well over 20 years, and I'm very happy to report that her replacement, Deanna, after some overlap with Tracy, is doing phenomenal. Big loss in losing Tracy, but well-deserved retirement, and Deanna is just coming online swimmingly. It's amazing. E-bikes, we deployed our e-bikes for the first time last year to try and combat the e-bike issue that's already begun to kind of bubble to the surface here with the warm weather. We plan to continue doing that this year. National Night Out was another hit back in August. We're going to do that again this year. Speaking of National Night Out, Officer Lindauer officially retired again and moved to Florida. And later in the year, we hired Officer Shannon Brett to take over his place as the DARE teacher, and also do some of the community engagement things. And she's doing great as well. Another thing I'm really proud of is last year we had our first ever physical fitness incentive program. The town here gets, we have MVP and we have the wellness team, but this is something very specific geared towards police officers, because I've always had a fundamental problem with we have to qualify with our duty weapons twice a year, but we never have to do a physical fitness exam or test after we get hired and after we graduate the academy. So we had several officers participate in that. We're going to do that annually. So there's several things that's running in conjunction with that too. Roberts Wesleyan University also partnered with us to start a pilot program for additional cardiac screening for first responders. That's above and beyond the wellness screenings the town does through the insurance. We had good turnout, and we had some good feedback, and we had some referrals to doctors. So we're finding things, and I think that's important that we keep doing that. So it's good stuff. I mentioned Shannon. We hired Shannon Brett, and then we closed out the year. Probably not the best time to do a renovation, but expanding our patrol room. And the reason for that is 14 people were sharing a room that was basically 12 feet by 12 feet square. It was the only room in the police department that had not been updated in my tenure here, and it also brought all of the sworn staff inside the door. So what we found was people were walking in the front, they would see the animal control desk and assume that she was their police clerks. So now we have much more space, and it's just a much better room for the officers to accomplish their work. Before I switch over here to the statistics, I need to give a shout out to the special police. We couldn't do it without them, and it's the same every year when I come up here, but they really are a force multiplier for us, and we could not do it without them. I'm super thankful. They added 2 new staff members as well, Officer Daggs and Officer Fontel. They both bring extensive criminal justice experience. One works at the Crime Analysis Center, one works at the Town of Greece Animal Control. So lots of different perspective there to bring in. So yeah, the overall last year was kind of regrouping and looking to the future, and I'm really happy that we had a successful year. You'll see some of the statistics that we'll get into now. The things really didn't slow down despite having With that, you have the packets in front of you, I think. I'll just kind of go quick through these because I know not everybody wants to stare at numbers on a page. But our budget was 3.6 million last year. I'm still shocked that despite how short-staffed we were, down 5 people, that our overtime budget came in 40,000 lower than what we budgeted for. I don't know how, because we worked a lot of overtime last year, so very judicious use of that time. Calls per service, we had 14,000. That was down, there's a graph coming up, we'll get to that. Population we serve, you guys know, is about 24,000. On the next page shows our hierarchy, the organizational chart of the police department. I always just include that for visual reference. And it breaks down who reports to whom. No major change there, except last year, towards the tail end of the year, we eliminated what we were calling fourth platoon. Due to the shortage of people, we didn't have enough to spread out into 4 platoons, but we regrouped into 3. And we also reallocated an officer to the overnight shift, which really cut down on the amount of time that we're working alone. Which still happens, it's a goal to reduce that as much as we can, but that really seems to have worked well. The total reported crimes were down a little bit last year, but not much over the year before. You can see some bar graphs here, just kind of indicate the breakdowns, and yours are black and white, it may not be the easiest to read, I apologize for that, I didn't think about that, but, in 2025, we still had 80 felonies on top, like the year prior in 2024. The other 2 categories, misdemeanors and violations, were down a little bit. Total arrests started to trend back up a little bit, back up to 88. You know, the demographics kind of remain the same. If you look at the age, race, and gender groups, not much fluctuation there as the years go on. If you look at the page that says 2025 DCJS and FBI index crimes, this really shows our bread and butter, if you will, what we deal with the most. And the one thing that's not on here that I would like to point out is mental hygiene transports to the hospital for people with mental health crisis. Last year we had, there's over 100, I think it's a couple pages down here. There it is, 117. So, you know, 117 people that needed emergency admission to the hospital because of a mental health crisis, and then followed by assaults, larcenies, criminal mischief, burglaries, and then it dwindles on from there. But really what we deal with a lot is domestic violence and mental health in this town. Those things you don't see kind of in the charts here. Our uses of force were down a little bit last year. That's good, always. A lot of that's out of our control. And moving on here, you can see I'm on the page that says outside partnerships. Down at the bottom, it shows our domestic incident reports were actually down. In-station contacts, so the people who come in and call the office, were up a little bit. Moving on to the next page, mental hygiene, like I pointed out a minute ago, we had 117, which is down quite a bit from the year before, which is a good thing. Overdoses were up last year, and that problem continues to ebb and flow. 2024, we had a really good year where there were only 2 overdoses and neither were fatal. And unfortunately, we had fatals last year. And that's a trend that I see throughout the county. You can tell when there's doses of, you know, lethal drugs that come into the community because everybody's overdose frequencies increase. Moving on to the vehicle and traffic law page. Again, despite being down 5 people for the first quarter of the year, our numbers were very similar to the year prior, which I think kind of speaks to the effort that the officers were putting in once they were trained. Motor vehicle accidents were up last year, and we did have 2 fatal crashes last year, so all the more reason to put a heavy emphasis on traffic enforcement, whether that be for details or just on routine patrol. We're almost done with my bit here, the traffic tickets page. That just shows the number, less than the year prior, but higher than 2023 and 2022. Again, I think that's reflective of having people coming online. And then the last page discusses the overtime budget comparison and the miles we drove last year. One of the clerks asked me why we bother putting these things on here, total patrol miles. It shows how much we're out there and driving around, really, at a quick glance. also what was good is our sick time frequency were down. It looks like the numbers are wrong in years there, but I know from looking at attendance is the amount of time we're down, so. That's the police summary, really, high level view. Do you guys have any questions about that? And then I'll go over the special police one, that's kind of short. No?
That's good.
People can do it. So, the special police, they, again, hats off to them. Couldn't really do it without them at all. What's always fascinating to me is on the first, after you flip the title page there, is the career total hours that these officers have volunteered for this town. Officer Bob, who's a legend around here, over 12,000 hours he's donated to the town. And the top three last year were Chief Zambudo, Captain Nielsen, and Officer Bob. So hats off to those guys. On the next page, the category summary of their hours. This is just a breakdown of how many hours they're spending in certain categories. But the main thing that they're doing is special details, whether it be a special event like a carnival, canal days, 5Ks, things of that nature, followed by their training and administration, and then house checks. House checks are such a vital thing that they perform for us, which our residents really enjoy it. The activity report, the end of year stats, the top three things that they were doing last year were house checks, assisting the police station, police department, and then assisting the citizens. So those are just their own ways of keeping track of their calls for service. And then the last item in their report is just an overall breakdown of their details, of the 900 hours that they logged, that you can really go through and see where the time was spent. Carnival was 202 hours, Canal Days was 162, and then they kind of figured out from there. Those are the two really big ones for the special police. So that is all I have. And then again, they added two new officers. So one of the officers they added was previously trained, Officer Dabbs. She was in the Grease Special Police, so we do not need to train her. And the other officer, she needs to go to the academy this spring. So that is all I have. So unless you have any questions. A lot of yelling.
That was good.
Great work, Chief. Thank you.
Excellent, Chief. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on from there, I would request a motion for Resolution 107, approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, second by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, we have privilege of the floor. This is an opportunity for any member of the community to come approach the board with a topic of interest. We don't necessarily respond, but we take notes and see if we can't get answers if you have questions. But if there's anybody that wishes to address the board at this time, go ahead and come forward, state your name, address, and we will take the time to listen. Okay, with that, we'll close privilege of the floor, move on to reports and remittance. Resolution 108.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, second by Councilman Baker. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, we have town audits, Resolution 109.
I'll also move that. Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, second by Councilman Baker. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. There's a long list of correspondences here. Myself and Town Clerk Noel Burley, and a little bit of a summary of our training in New York City. There is a notice from our town clerk about a speed change, really from the county, but there's correspondence about that. You'll notice there's a resolution to, I suppose, ratify what the county is looking to do. There's also some correspondences from the chief for Officer Carlos Ortiz Speed, as well as for Clerk Stephanie Ruffino for their assistance and work in the Stop DWI program. And then a summary from Highway Superintendent Doug Case, his attendance at the Advocacy Day in Albany, which always looks like a good time, even though you're there. I know, I get trying to beg Albany for some money here. So with that, we'll move to reports from town officers. In our work session, I had explained a letter that sort of came abruptly today and asked if the board would be willing to support this. There was a letter that came out from New York State, and it was sent to seniors about this STAR exemption, and in summary, it basically said there's no need for you to have to file this thing. And we believe that it created some confusion, because the STAR exemption is strictly just for school taxes, but then there's the local, the town, the county, the fire, and EMS and all that. And so seniors still have to file their exemption with the town annually for those things. And in collaboration with the town of Gates, we sort of noticed that there were some seniors that didn't meet the deadline. And so for any senior that missed the deadline of March 1st, we want to extend the opportunity to come into the assessor's office and get that senior exemption if you felt like that was really confusing to you by the state. So we're looking to extend that until April 1st, giving the opportunity for seniors to not miss this deadline, especially for those on fixed incomes. To have the exemption then suddenly lose it is not something that we're wanting, especially if there was confusion really caused by the state. So that's something that the assessor put forward and this board is in favor of, so we're happy to extend that. Wanted to officially talk about America 250 at Pineway Ponds Park, which will be Thursday, July 2nd, starting at 6 p.m. With fireworks at the end. This is our Independence Day celebration, celebrating America's 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. But it's coming along great. I mean, I'm really excited. A lot of games, a lot of food, a lot of just lawn games. It'll just be a fun time. So we're excited for that to kick off from a planning perspective and fundraising and everything else. Last Friday, we celebrated Employee Appreciation Day at Town Hall. We provided breakfast for the employees, and it was just great. I'm very grateful to the wellness team, specifically Christian, but everybody else that helped put that together and made it a really nice event for our employees. As part of National Reading Month, I participated in Burnaby Reads. It was a blast. I was able to challenge some kids to rock, paper, scissors. I mean, obviously I won one of them and lost the other, but we'll just talk about the wins here. Great time. As you'll see later in the agenda, I'll start by saying, if you remember from last meeting, we had announced the retirement of our nutrition program coordinator, who had been with us for, I think, 8 years. So we obviously wish her the best. She retired, and we simply promoted somebody, Nicole Fogg, who had been working in the nutrition program under her for, I think, the last 12 or 13 years. So we're excited for her to have this opportunity. She crushed the interview. You could just see the excitement and the enthusiasm. So we're really excited. I should say, I'm excited to present to you the resolution to appoint her for the board's consideration. We wrapped up our pet food drive in support of the West Side Pet Food Shelf with great success. Really want to thank, obviously, the collaboration and efforts with the library, but also everybody that donated. We filled our box, which is a pretty big box, and so we're very grateful to the community for doing that. And I know Dave Maynard was extremely grateful for us to contribute in that way. Steve Toms and Councilman Toms and Town Clerk Burley and I, we all went to the ribbon cutting for DEA Urgent Care Veterinarian Services. That's right in the town, just near the village, and it was very great to hear some of the services that they offer and the need for that, especially on the west side. So we're excited for them to come in here.
Chief Gray was there too.
And Chief Gray, who was also there, who I then talked to for 20 minutes afterwards, and then apparently forgot to mention that you were there. Anyways, there's some progress on the Ellicott Development Walgreens Plaza. We really need to hammer down what the state wants to do as far as adding a traffic light and a turning lane. So we're getting clarification on that, but there's a little bit of a newer design where the last phase could include a little bit of a plaza that's over there. So kind of excited to see that come to fruition, but you know, with any development, there's always going to be a tremendous amount of growing pains. Unfortunately for us as a town, 259 is not a town road, and neither is 31. So we are at the mercy of the state and what the state wants to do as far as ingress and egress in and out of that plaza. We obviously keep pushing for different things, but ultimately it's up to the state to control their roads. That is it for me. Councilman Baker.
No.
Councilman Gerbino.
Nothing.
Councilman Hinman.
No report.
Councilman Toms.
Yeah, briefly, as you mentioned, I also went to the Emergency Vet Services, the grand opening there. I also hosted the Rotary Tournament, or last Monday, the trivia tournament. And was glad to see that Noel and Sue and Stephanie and Deanna from the police department also showed up and had a team there. And I also mentioned the American Legion is having their ham raffle on March 21st from 1 to 5. One of their last fundraisers, so that's all. Thank you.
Very good. Highway Superintendent Doug Case.
As submitted, I did attend the advocacy day. We got to meet with Josh Jensen and request more funding, and I think they said we had 700 attendees between vendors and superintendents down there. So we filled the place with orange shirts, and they submitted some more money. We'll see where it goes. Crews were over at Buffalo Road Park. We cleared all the trees on the access road in. Got that prepped, with better weather to do some more work. But we moved out of there. Also, the crews have been out, now that the snow finally stopped. It's twofold. We have a little bit of drainage work that's come up with different calls on that, and cleaning up plow damage and trying to get that cleaned up. It's not over. Still looks like there's some snow in the forecast, but trying to stay ahead of it. See where it goes. Thank you.
Today it would have been a lot of snow if it was cold. I'm glad it wasn't. Town Clerk Noel Burley.
No report.
Very good. Okay, there's no unfinished business, so we'll move to new business. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
Resolution 110, establishment of a 50-mile-an-hour linear sign speed limit on Dewey Street between Hubble and Washington in the town of Ogden, state of New York, and authorize related traffic control devices.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Baker, second by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 111, appointing Nicole Fogg to the non-competitive position of part-time nutrition program center coordinator.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 112, authorizing the acceptance of a grant from the State and Municipal Facilities Capital Program and authorizing the town finance director to make any necessary budget adjustments associated with said grant.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 113, authorizing a budget modification related to the renovation of the recreation wing of the Ogden Community Center.
I'll move that.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Baker. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 114, authorizing budget amendments necessary to close the Fuel Island Capital Project.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Before we adjourn to work session, I have to say one additional thing for my supervisor report, whatever. Whether you guys know this or not, we have some type of registry with the federal government to receive grants. And we've been locked out of it for a good long time, which is really frustrating, especially on the heels of us applying for a federal grant through Congressman Morelli's office. And it's one of those things where there is no one available to answer the phone. There's no one available to respond to emails. We contacted the county or state reps, everybody, and this was going on for a very, 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 very long time. So just in front of everybody, I want to thank Christian for his persistence, because, I mean, I'm thankful he has hair to pull out, but he was pulling out his hair trying to figure out how to make this happen, and we finally received word that it was reactivated. And when is the grant due that we're applying for? Friday? Yeah. So, yeah. So thank you, Christian, seriously. I appreciate that. Okay, with that, I will entertain a motion to move to work session.
Second.
I think you said second before you said first, but okay. Moved by Councilman Tom, seconded by Councilman Hinman. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. We are moved to work session.